Hi, my name is Haley Burton, and today I will be giving an informative speech, and this is my audience. I chose this topic because Katherine Johnson is a historical figure that has faced many challenges. However, she endured and tackled those problems, allowing her to pave the way for many African American women in STEM. Not only is her story historically significant, but it is also inspiring. Can you imagine being tasked with the responsibility of calculating the exact trajectory for a spacecraft, ensuring that it's done to perfection so that you can let the astronaut return to Earth alive while also successfully orbiting around Earth? Now, can you imagine doing all of this while facing race and gender inequality? This was the reality of Katherine Johnson, who was an exceptional mathematician. The purpose of this speech is to inform people about the contributions Katherine Johnson made in STEM while facing several social injustices, and I would also like to inform people about how her legacy continues to motivate those who are next in line. In this speech, I will discuss Katherine's childhood and education, her contribution to NASA and the space race, and I will also analyze the impact that she has on women. Katherine Johnson was born in White Sulphur Springs in West Virginia on August 26, 1918, a time where educational opportunities for Black people were hindered. However, she did not let this stop her at all. Only at the age of 13, Katherine was already taking high school courses. By the age of 18, she was one of 3 students to integrate the West Virginia State College. By 1937, she had obtained her bachelor's degree in science and mathematics, where she was graduated at the highest point of her class. After this completion, she went on to teach at a public school in Virginia until she was told about the All-Black West Computing Area at NACA, which is the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics. In 1953, she was assigned to the Research Flight Division, where this became her permanent position of analyzing data from flight tests. In 1958, NACA changed to be known as NASA, which is the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. While she was there, she performed many complex hand calculations, such as Alan Shepard's May 1961 Mission Freedom 7, where this is the first human flight. She was an important figure to many of NASA's space missions, but however, she's the most notable for the 1962 flight for John Glenn. This space mission consisted of a wide world network communication system that was linked by IBM computers that were located in Washington, Cape Canaveral, and Bermuda. These computers were responsible for calculating the trajectory for the spacecraft that were essential for the landing of the astronauts' flight. However, these astronauts feared that putting their lives in the hand of computers was very dangerous, for these computers were prone to making mistakes and they could black out at any moment. Instead, John Glenn personally asked that Katherine calculated the math by hand, and if they all matched, then they would be set to go. Due to Katherine's calculations, this resulted in a successful flight, and this result also resulted in a turning point in the space race between the United States and the Soviet Union. Katherine Johnson faced a lot of discrimination for not only being African American, but for also being a woman in a predominantly male field. And this is my audience. After working a long 33 years, Katherine Johnson finally retired in 1986, stating that she loved going to work every day. In 2015, she received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is America's highest civilian award, and this was granted to her by President Barack Obama. Additional to this, in 2017, there was a movie called Hidden Figures that were based on the life of Katherine Johnson. She was portrayed by Taraji P. Henson, and this movie not only served as a foundation of encouragement for those who may be anxious or scared, but it also showed that she had a lot of resilience in the face of trouble. Since childhood, Katherine Johnson has also always displayed academic brilliance and determination, and this is shown through many of her achievements and all that she has done throughout life. Because of these amazing skills, she was able to be a large help and support to NASA's early space missions. She was able to break many of stereotypes and that left a lasting impact to motivate young people today. Katherine Johnson once stated that girls are capable of doing everything that men are doing. Sometimes they have even more imagination than them. Her story will always and is be living proof that anything is possible even when the odds are against you. Katherine Johnson still remains as a very important historical figure in today, and she's still remembered by many. Unfortunately, she died in of February 24th of 2020, having to live for 101 years. She was very heartfelt to the NASA community, and like I said, she was always be remembered by everyone. And this is my audience.